Alright, so Jesslyn, before we start the lesson, I want to do a little check-in with you. With your whiteboard and your marker, just draw. How are you feeling right now? It could be happy, sad, ready to learn, bored, hungry, whatever you want. Show me how you feel, and I'll do the same. You ready? Alright, so go ahead and show me how you're feeling right now. Hungry? You're hungry? You didn't eat before? It's okay. This will be quick. I'll try to make the lesson as short as possible so you can go eat. Alright?
Okay.
I am feeling like I'm ready to learn. I'm excited for this, and I am excited to start this lesson. Alright, so before we start with the lesson, we're going to start with our standard. This is what we're learning today. Can you read it out loud for me, please?
Describe in depth a character, setting, or event in a story or drama, drawing on specific details in the text.
So this means like a character's thoughts, words, or actions. Alright, so let's break this down. So there are a couple of vocabulary words that I want to go over with you. So I have them right here. I shall throw them down here. So, describe in depth. Do you know what depth means?
No.
No? So in depth, I have it right here. It's extensive and detailed study or knowledge. Extensive and detailed study or knowledge. So it says describe in depth. It means describe in detail. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Describe in detail. Remember that. The next item on our vocabulary, drawing on. So we have right here, drawing on specific details in the text. What do you mean? What do you think they mean by drawing on? Do they mean drawing little figures? What do you think drawing on means?
I feel like drawing on means like maybe write down.
Write down. So writing down specific details from the text, maybe?
Yeah.
All right. So when we look at the dictionary term of drawing on, it means making use of. So if we plug that in to the sentence, making use of specific details in the text. All right? The next vocabulary term, it's an easy one. You know this, event. You know what an event is,
Yes.
right? A thing that happens, especially one of importance. Next word, setting. You know what a setting is? The place or type of surroundings where something is positioned or where an event takes place. Can you move a little bit? Thank you. And last one, character. We all know what a character is, right? It's a person, or it could be an animal, or it can be a living thing, any living thing, a monster. They can all be characters in a novel, play, or movie. Okay. So now that we know the vocabulary terms of this sentence, we can determine that what this is asking us to do is what? What do you think? Take a wild guess. Educated guess.
Words or action?
I'm sorry?
Wait, what?
So if we plug in all these terms, everything that we put in here, we said describe in detail a character, setting, or event in a story or drama, making use of specific details in the text, like a character's thoughts, words, or actions. So what this is asking us to do is to dissect. You know what the word dissect means? Pick apart.
Oh, yeah.
So we pick apart something that we either read, something we watch, something that we listen to, In this case, we're going to be watching a film, a short film, and we're going to read a passage. And when we read those, we're going to look for specific things. We're going to be describing a character, a setting, in great detail. But we have to be careful because this could trick us. We could think that it's making us think, okay, they want us to describe a character. Okay, Jasleen is short, she wears glasses, she is wearing pants. You're describing Jasleen, right? But that's not what this is asking us to do. This is asking us to look at a character's traits. Do you know what a trait is?
Mm.
Kinda? Want to give it a guess what that is?
Wait, character traits. It's like the maybe things about them.
Things about them. Okay, you're close. You're very close. I'm gonna tell you two things. I want to tell me which one you think is just describing a person and which one is a character trait of a person. Okay. If I say Jasleen is short, is that a character trait or is that a description of the person?
A description.
That's a description, right? So if I say Jasleen is shy, Jasleen is smart, Jasleen is ambitious, those are character traits, right?
Okay.
So that's what this is asking us to do. We're looking for character traits, okay? Now, when it comes to setting, a setting, it doesn't want us to look for, oh, the room is painted black, the room's carpet is brown. It's asking us to look at the details, use those details to decide, oh, the room is vibrant, the room is boring, the room is, can you think of something else?
The room is
Ugly, pretty.
yeah.
Those are some ways to describe a setting. Okay? Do you have any questions for me so far?
No.
No? Can you move the mouse a little bit? Thank you. All right. So I'm gonna give you one character just to make sure that you are understanding. Think about Winnie the Pooh. In Winnie the Pooh, not Winnie the Pooh. Think about Eeyore. Do you know which one he is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Eeyore. Knowing who he is, what are some character traits that can describe him?
Lazy.
Lazy, okay. And why do you think he's lazy? What does he show when you watch a Winnie the Pooh movie or you watch a Winnie the Pooh cartoon and you see Igor? What does he do? What does he say that makes you describe him as lazy?
Well, he just lays around a lot.
He just lays around. Yeah. He never does anything, right?
Yeah.
He never participates in any of the games, right? So that is a good trait for Igor. Good job. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you to take out your laptop, and what we're going to be doing with the laptop, we're going to be watching a short 4-minute film, and I think you'll like this one. It's very funny. Professor, right now, if you would choose to, you can fast forward the next 4 minutes. It's the student's going to be watching a short film, a Pixar's film of Mike Gets a New Car. Okay, so Jasleen, is it up?
Yeah.
You ready? Okay, so go ahead and press play and watch the next 4 minutes for me. Can you hear it?
I turned it up all the way, but it's quiet.
So make sure you pay attention to their facial expressions, to what they're saying, to how they're acting. Okay?
Yeah, it's done.
It's done?
Mhm.
All right. So before we get into the characters, can you explain me what the short film was about?
It was about wait, which one is Mike again?
Mike is the short green one.
Okay. It was about Mike's car, and then
Was it a car he already had?
no,
No?
I don't think.
It was a brand new car, right?
Yeah.
So what was he doing? He was showing it off?
Yeah, he was showing it to what's his name?
Sully.
Sully.
The big blue one? Sully.
He was showing it to Sully, and then he got in. They both got in, and then stuff kept on happening. He got stuck in the front.
In the hood of the car when he opened it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or no, he was trying to close it, right?
Yeah.
And because he was too short, what happened?
He got stuck in there.
He got stuck inside. And then what happened next? Once he was able to get out of that, close the hood of the car, and then go around to get in the car, what happened? Was he able to get in, or was he having a hard time?
I think he was having a hard time.
Yeah, he was having a hard time, right?
Yeah.
And how did he finally get inside? Did Sully help him at all?
Yeah.
He finally was able to open it for him, right? But before he did that, he was pressing all these different buttons trying to open the door, remember? Yes. So then, what happened when they both were finally inside the car?
The car, I don't remember, but the car did something, and then their seats.
The car went a little crazy, right?
Yeah.
And then what happened to the seats?
The seats were going up and down.
Up and down, up and down. It went crazy, huh? All right. And then at the end, what happened to the car?
It broke down.
It broke down, right? And then Sully has no car.
Yeah.
All right. So then, knowing what happened in that story, knowing what happened with the car, we know that the first character is what? Who? What's one of the characters on there?
Mike.
Mike. And was there another character? Sully. Anyone else?
No.
Nope. Just Mike and Sully. All right. So for this chart that we're going to fill out, we're going to be filling it out about the characters, about Sully and Mike. So what I want you to do now is grab the whiteboard, and you're going to be filling in this chart with me. So I need you to create this chart, put one line, and these are going to be our little section titles. And then we're going to have 2 lines, so we can have 3 sections. It might be easier for you if you do it like this, hamburger style, right? The hamburger style. You'll have more room. Ready to go. So in the first section, we're going to write character. In the second column, we're going to write trait. And in the last one, we're going to write evidence. Jocelyn, do you know what evidence means?
Yeah.
What does evidence mean?
Evidence means for example, if you're reading a text or whatever, you have to use, and then you have to write a summary. You have to use evidence from the text.
So you have to pull things from the text, right?
Yeah.
To write the summary. So this is what we're going to do for here. We're going to pull evidence from the film to explain why we think these characters have these traits that we're going to write down. Okay? So, pick a character. Which one do you want to do first? Mike or Sully?
Sully.
Sully? Alright. So then, go ahead and write Sully. We're going to start with that one. Alright. So, what's one character trait that you think Sully has?
he
I'm going to hand you this. So this, I'm going to let you look at it for about a minute. So these are different character trait examples that will help you if you need. Look at it as a little cheat sheet. So we have on there, we have happy, sad, patient, tolerant, evil. The list goes on and on. So take a minute to look through it. It's at the first page, and then if you flip it over, there's more on the back. It's a whole list of different character traits. See if that helps you find a couple of traits that describe Sully.
Wait, I just want to point out that, like, in the beginning of the video, when Mike showed the new car, he wasn't surprised.
He wasn't Sully, right? He wasn't really impressed.
Yeah.
So that's actually a good thing to point out. So what do you think of, how could that describe Sully? Someone that's not easily impressed,
Yeah.
right? So maybe you can say he's not materialistic. Do you know what the word materialistic means? So materialistic is someone that is obsessed with having a lot of materials that cost money. I need to have all the cars, I need to have all this jewelry, I need to have all this money. So that's someone that's materialistic, that thinks that stuff is important. So would you say Sully was impressed by the car?
No.
No, right? Didn't he say what was wrong with your old car? He said that. So that means that he doesn't think that he needed a new car. There's no purpose of having a new car. So we actually just found a trait, and we just found the evidence for one characteristic. Good job. So let's write right here, let's write non-materialistic. MATERIALIS, and that's a big word, TIC. And make sure you put the non in front.
I did.
Perfect. So then what evidence did we say?
How in the beginning, when Mike showed his new car, he wasn't impressed.
He wasn't impressed, right? So then on evidence, we're going to write not impressed when Mike showed him his new car. Can you see that? All right. So I want you to think back at when they got in the car, and then Mike couldn't figure out how to get the car going. And then also, when Mike was outside of the car, trying to get back inside, how was Sully acting? Did he look mad? Did he look annoyed? Or was he just going about his day, just sitting there very calmly? Which one was it?
Wait, which one did you mention again?
Sully. So we're talking about the blue one, the blue big monster.
Okay.
Was he up until the car went crazy on them, was Sully, did he seem very excited the whole time, or was he more like just very chilling, just hanging out?
He was chill.
Just sitting there, right?
Yeah.
So would you say he's patient?
Yeah.
He was being patient with all of Mike's shenanigans, right? Alright, so then why don't we write patient as another trait? And then what evidence did we say? He was very patient while Mike was trying to...
Well, Mike was like struggling to get
Struggling to figure out his new car, right?
Yeah.
Alright, good job. So then let's write solely was patiently sitting while Mike tried to figure out his car. Alright, perfect. So for now, let's move on from solely and now let's think about Mike. So go ahead and write down Mike. And I'm going to give you 30 seconds to see if you can come up with different traits about Mike. You can use the cheat sheet if you want, see if you can figure out some traits on there. You can use the cheat sheet if you want. Ready?
Yeah. I got 2.
You got 2. That's perfect. What's the first one?
Angry.
Angry. All right. Very angry person. So what could be another word for angry? What made him angry?
What made him angry was when he was like trying to get in and like when he got annoyed too.
He got annoyed very quickly, right?
Yeah.
Very, very quickly. As soon as they got into the car, he couldn't figure out how to turn it on, right? All right. So then would you say we can replace the word angry with impatient?
Yeah.
Yeah? Perfect. All right. So let's write impatient. All right. And give me one evidence. One proof that shows that Mike is impatient.
So when they first got in, I remember when they first got into the car.
Mm-hmm.
When they first got in the car, slowly just like kept on moving the chair different ways, and he was like mad, and he was just like
Yelled at him, right? It's like, cut it out! Just stop!
Yeah.
All right. So would you? That took Sully what? Less than 10 seconds for him to try to adjust his car?
Yeah.
Would you get that annoyed that quick? That impatient? Just let him stop? Right? It didn't seem like it was that big of a deal, right?
Yeah.
But for Mike, since he's impatient, that seemed like a very big deal. Alright, so then let's write got annoyed. When solely, make sure it got annoyed quickly. That's the key word, quickly. Quickly, when solely was trying to adjust the seat. All right.
Okay.
You said you got one more?
Yeah. I don't know if this is like
It's okay. Let's hear it.
When at the end, when when he finally got into the car,
Mm-hmm.
he was like tired. He was just like something like, I don't know how to describe it, but like when he finally got into the car, he was like,
Just over. So you think he gave up very easily?
yeah.
So what do you think? What's a word that means that? Someone who gives up very easily. That is a trait. If you don't think you can find it on there, you have your computer. Go ahead and you can Google that. Word or trait meaning someone who gives up very easily. What pops up?
Cynic?
Cynic?
That's what popped up.
Yeah, that's a hard word. So, let me borrow it. So it says, cynic. A friend of mine said that he was cynic. I had told him that he was giving up too easily. In this situation, the worst case outcome was rejection, which objectively speaking was equivalent to not trying in the first place. So, cynic, it's not the word, but maybe we can say quitter?
Yes.
That's a good word, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Quitter. All right. So cynic is someone who doesn't even try. He tried, he just gave up really quickly.
Yeah.
Right? Because even right after, he was like, I miss my old car. And you only had this new car for how long? For like 10 minutes, it seemed. All right, so then let's write quitter. We say he gave up very easily. When he couldn't what? Figure out his car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, kind of like he was just done. Like,
He was just done, right? Just,
yeah.
I miss my old car. Yeah. Alright, so then we're saying that some character traits for Sully are non-materialistic, patient, we can even throw on there tolerant, right? And for Mike, we said he's impatient, a quitter. Can we also say he's goofy? If I'm goofy or if I'm annoying?
I find him...
It depends on who the person is, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so cool. We are done with the characters. Now we have to do the same thing for settings. But before we do that, while I set up, you can take a 1-minute break. Eat some Reese's. Alright, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so now we're going to be doing the same thing. We're going to do a start setting, the description of the setting, the trait, and then we're going to also find evidence for that one too, okay? So we're going to be doing it on The Wonderful World of Oz. Have you ever seen that movie, The Wizard of Oz?
No, I've never seen
You've never seen it? Oh, you need to...
I mean, well, I think I watched it in class, but
You watched it in
I
class?
can't remember.
You just don't remember? I think you would really like it. The original movie, The Wonderful World of Wizard of Oz. It's such a good movie. Background story real quick so you can understand this then. The Wizard of Oz is a movie about a young girl who lives in Kansas. She is unhappy in Kansas. She thinks it's boring. It's very different from what we're used to. You're talking about Kansas is all about farm and country, the country life. Yes, the complete opposite of what you're used to. So Dorothy, she gets caught in a tornado, and the tornado blows her away to the land of Oz. In the land of Oz, there's the Wicked Witch of the West, and she's trying to make trouble for Dorothy, and I don't want to spoil it for you by telling you what happens, but she's very far away from home, and there's some red ruby slippers, so you need to watch it. I think you will like it. So, in The Wizard of Oz, in that movie, there's 3 settings. There's Kansas, where Dorothy is from. Then there's the land of Oz. That's where the tornado takes her to. And then there's the Emerald City. That is where the Wizard of Oz lives, in the Emerald City. So what we're going to do is going to read all 3 passages, and we're going to be doing the same thing for this, okay?
Okay.
We're going to describe the different settings, and then you can compare them. All right, I'll go ahead and read the first one. Ready? Got your paper in front of you?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Kansas. When Dorothy stood in the doorway and looked around, she could see nothing but the great gray prairie on every side. Not a tree nor a house broke the broad sweep of the flat country that reached the edge of the sky in all directions. The sun had baked the plowed land in a gray mass, with little cracks running through it. Even the grass was not green, for the sun had burned the top of the long blades until they were the same gray color to be seen everywhere. Once the house had been painted, but the sun blistered the paint and the rain washed it away, and now the house was dull and gray as everything else. So that's the first one, Kansas City. In the same cheat sheet that I gave you, in the back one, there is different descriptions that you can look through, words to help you describe Kansas City. So on your whiteboard, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to have our 3 columns. Here we're going to have setting. Here we're going to have evidence. And in the middle we're going to have description. So remember, don't get tricked into thinking it's asking us to say, okay, Kansas City is brown, the grass is green, the dirt is brown, the house is big, the grass is small. That's not what it's asking us. It's asking us to describe it with words such as lively, such as hot, such as...
Like describing how it is?
Mm-hmm. Yes, describing how it is. It's alive, it's fascinating, it's enchanting, it's deserted, it's quiet. Those are the type of words that we're looking for when we're talking about a setting. Okay? So, the first one, we said Kansas, right? So, based off of the description, listen closely. It says, even the grass was not green, for the sun had burned the tops of the long blades until they were the same gray color to be seen everywhere. The house was blistered. The paint of the house was blistered. It says the houses were dull and gray as everything else. So here in those descriptions, does that sound like a very, very lively place? Full of vibrant colors?
No.
No, right? It's the opposite.
Seems boring.
Seems boring. Okay, that's a good one. So let's write boring. And what evidence from the text makes you believe that Kansas is boring?
How like the grass is all dead and all that.
So grass is dead, it's not green, right?
Yeah.
Grass is dead. What about the first sentence? When Dorothy stood on the doorway and looked around, she could see nothing but the great gray prairie on every side. So there's nothing there, right?
Yeah.
She just looks in every direction and all she sees is fields and ground, not even grass. It's just all gray, right? So then we could also put, there was nothing around.
Like, that's what makes it boring, because it's nothing.
Right? So if there's nothing, then can you do anything? There's like nothing to do, right? Alright. For now, we'll just do one of each, okay? Since we're running out of time. So the next one, The Land of Oz. Can you read that one for me, please?
A little girl gave a cry of amazement and looked about her, her eyes growing bigger and bigger at the wonderful sights she saw. The cyclone had set the house down very gently. For a cyclone in the midst of a country of marvelous beauty. There were lovely patches of green soil all about, with stately trees bearing rich and luscious
Perfect.
fruits. Banks of gorgeous flowers were on every hand, and birds with rare and brilliant
Plumage. Perfect. Good job at sounding it out.
sang and fluttered in the trees and bushes. A little way off, was a small brook, rushing and sparkling along between green banks, and murmuring in a voice very grateful to a little girl who had lived so long on the dry, gray
Prairies. So this is the Land of Oz. Does that sound like Kansas?
No.
No, right? Would you say it's like the complete opposite of Kansas?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Alright, so then let's write down our setting. The Land of Oz. So, for the Land of Oz, would you say it's dull? Dull. Is it dull?
Wait, what does that mean again?
Dull means that there's no color. Is it dull? No, right?
No.
Would you say it is vibrant?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So,
Because
vibrant. Why? Why is it vibrant?
Because in the paragraph it says there were lovely patches of green sward.
Yeah, so lovely patches of green. So green is colorful, right?
Yeah.
That's the opposite of dull, right? Alright, so then we can put lovely, and we're literally taking this, we're getting evidence from the text. Lovely patches of green. What about when they use the word, when they say rich and luscious fruits, banks of gorgeous flowers? When you hear those words, that sounds like it's very colorful, right? When we think of flowers. Do we ever see gray flowers?
No.
Do you ever see black flowers?
No.
maybe a brown flower.
Yeah, because
maybe,
they
but
turn
then
brown
they turn brown when they're dead, right?
Yeah.
So that's the opposite of vibrant. So then we can also add gorgeous flowers everywhere. All right. So last but not least, we're almost done. We just need to get through the last one, the Emerald City, and then we're done, okay?
Okay.
All right. The last one. I'll go ahead and read it. Even with eyes protected by the green spectacles, Dorothy and her friends were at first dazzled by the brilliancy of the wonderful city. The streets were lined with beautiful houses, all built of green marble, and studded everywhere with sparkling emeralds. They walked over a pavement of the same green marble, and as were the blocks. I'm sorry, I skipped a line. They walked over a pavement of the same green marbles, and were led into the. And together, they were joined into a rows of emeralds set closely and glittered into the brightness of the sun. The window panes were all green glass. Even the sky above the city had a green tint. That's a lot of green, huh? Green here, green there. So that kind of makes sense why it's called the Emerald City, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen an emerald?
Yeah.
What color is it?
Green.
Green, obviously. There were many people, men, women, and children, walking about, and these were all dressed in green clothes. They looked at Dorothy with wondering eyes, and the children all ran away and hid behind their mothers when they saw the lion, but no one spoke to them. Many shops stood in the streets, and Dorothy saw that everything in them was green. Green candy, green popcorn, they were all wearing green shoes, green hats, and green clothes of all sorts. At one place, a man was selling green lemonade, and when the children bought it, Dorothy could see that they paid for it with green pennies. Everyone seemed happy and content and prosperous. All right, so comparing this one to Kansas, is it anything like Kansas City?
No.
No, right?
There's just green everywhere.
First of all, there's green everywhere, so they're obsessed with green. It makes total sense why it's called the Emerald City. So let's write down that setting, the Emerald City. So, what evidence can we pull from this text? What do you think? From that paragraph?
Like, just every single thing is just green.
It's green. Is green a boring color? No. Would you say green is an enchanting color?
Yeah, because there can be like boring, like there could be like dark green, which is
Kind of boring, right?
Yeah.
So think about the color brown. Is that a very enchanting color? Brown. If you think of a city where everything is brown and there's brown lemonade, ooh, right? It doesn't sound very cool. So would we say that the Emerald City is enchanting?
Yeah.
Yes? Alright. So then let's write enchanting. So besides the fact that it's green and it's a pretty green color, if we look closely at the text, there's also specific words that can explain why it's enchanting. I mean, there's green money, right? The kids were paying with green pennies. And then there was rows of emeralds. So they had actual emeralds everywhere around in all the different buildings. So that's pretty cool, right? That's what makes it enchanting and sparkly and all pretty.
Yeah.
So then, why don't we write down we can write down that the pavement and shops they were what?
They were
Lined up with
emeralds.
Good job. Alright, so let me know when you are done.
Okay.
You done? Alright. So we said that the setting, Kansas, it is boring because there was grass that was
dead.
And then what else?
There was nothing.
There was nothing to do, right? Because there was nothing around. You can look in whatever direction and you would see nothing.
Like, there's no flowers or anything. Everything's just dead.
Dead. There was just dry dirt that was cracked from the heat. Alright, next setting. The land of Oz. We said that it was vibrant because
the lovely patches of green and the gorgeous flowers.
there was gorgeous flowers everywhere, and then there was beautiful, lovely patches of green wherever you looked. Alright, and by that they mean the grass, right?
Yeah.
Patches of green grass. So complete opposite of Kansas. Alright, and the last one, the Emerald City. We described it as enchanting because
the pavement and shops were lined up with emeralds.
They're lined up with emeralds, not just one emerald, emeralds, multiples, thousands and thousands. All right. Can I borrow that real quick before you erase it? Yeah, I need to take a picture.
I did it early.
It's okay. All right. So, we're done. Okay. Good job.